Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we are here with the last day of teacher training workshop. Remember one thing, the 3 days and today is the last day. But remember, teacher training workshop never ends. We are ending because all those points that are important for the life of a teacher, I have tried to do it. I have done it. There are so many. A teacher, remember one thing, my one sentence, you must listen very carefully. A teacher till his or her death, he is a teacher and he is a learner. Daily, I must tell you one example, that daily in school, a student gives you a new lesson. You have to create a new experience for that child, daily basis. You can't even imagine that what a child will do in school. So you have to overcome it, you have to control that child in a way. We have told you only those points by which you can deal the student. So teacher training workshop never end. Remember this thing. But today is our last day, because what important points I thought for you, if you will implement, I promise you that you will be a successful teacher. On day 3, what we have done, we are starting on this last day. First point is be a keen observer. Now, blood circulation, rose plant is an example. Be a keen observer. Keen observer is, you have seen some shows that like some gift shows, or what you can say, like Fatma Mustafa is doing, then previously late Mr. Tariq Aziz was doing, Neelam Khair and all. A question is there suddenly, how many buttons you have in your shirt? Don't look, just answer. It means either you are a good observer or not, because I am wearing this shirt, so have I counted that how many buttons I have? No, I have not. So I am not a keen observer. So when you are in institution, you have to be a very keen observer. You must know that how many rooms are in this corridor, in your rooms, how many steps you are taking up, and keen observer that what your every child needs from you individually. You must know. Keen observer, it means that a good teacher always observes that what this child demands from you and what that child demands from you. The demands of the child, plus what knowledge this child have and what knowledge the other child have in your class. And I'm sorry to say that I have seen teachers, those who don't even know the complete names of their class. This is a very bad thing. So be a keen observer. When you say that teacher is the one who brings out the inner personality of the child, if you don't even know the name of your children, then how can you bring out the inner personalities? So be a keen observer. I tell you one thing, one of my teacher came to me, and she said, sir, you know, from last 3 days I am shouting, and because I have to teach rose plant to my students, and I told you to send me some model or chart or something, and still I haven't received that. I was working as a senior coordinator at that time, so she has given me that request. I said, okay, beta, come with me, I want to show you something. I went outside. In that, our school, in that institution, there was a big garden, and believe me, our CEO was such a lover of plants that in that there were 24 to 26 rose plants were there. Beautiful roses at that moment. So I went, I said, what are these? She said, rose plant. You know what I did? I sat down and I plucked one rose plant from the roots. And I said, take this with you and go to your class. This is what a rose plant is. You can bring your class outside and show them live rose plant. Why you are hesitating? What is the need of? So that teacher have not observed that in school we are having rose plants. Daily she is coming to school. One of my teacher came to me and she said, sir, actually I don't know, I forgot, I have to take lecture. Sir, who who was that scientist who studied for the first time studied blood circulation? I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Actually, I don't know. She said, sir, you are MSc Zoology. I said, you are also MSc Zoology, so you don't know. I said, okay, come with me. We will move in corridor and we will think that who is the first scientist who discovered these things, blood circulation and lungs. So then what happened? I took her in corridors. In that institution, in corridor, you know what we have? We have different pictures of scientists hanging in our corridor, beautiful pictures, and with that the description was written. So I went there and I stood in front of one picture and she saw that and she said, oh my God, sir, Ibn al-Nafis, okay, I'm so sorry. I said, listen, from last 3 years you are working in this institution, moving in this corridor morning and evening, and you don't even know that you have never seen this picture. So this is what keen observer. So be a keen observer. Role in class. I told you yesterday, you are a leader of your class. You are a leader of your class. Now, if you are a leader, you are disturbing others and others are disturbing you. I tell you how. You are teaching science in your class and 20 minutes passed and you have created an excellent atmosphere in your class. Everybody is sitting quietly watching you and listening to you very carefully. And sometimes it happens, and you are giving them knowledge and your classroom has got a quiet scene, everybody is attentive, and suddenly what happens? Door opens and a teacher comes inside. And she comes inside straight to you and she said, oh, sorry miss, bacho, kindly, can I get your Islamiyat copies for checking, please? Come on, collect copies. No, tell me one thing. 20 minutes, you are teaching in a very good way. Whole class was attentive and this happened. That teacher came and disturbed you. Why? Because you also do the same thing in other classes. If this will happen, how you will start your class again? You have to do it over. This is not that we pause a thing and then we start from the same. You are watching a movie and there is some disturbance, you pause it and then start movie from that place. This is not a movie, this is your live classroom and everything disturbed. Now you need 20 minutes you have covered before, now you need more than half an hour to do the same thing. So never disturb others, don't do this to other classes and other classes will not disturb you. Please, clear? O-R-N-O. Something happens in your class, even it happens, we are in such a society, parents, they abuse at home and the child, even when they fight with each other, they abuse each other. If it happens in your class, then never say, enough that what happened in my class. Be cool down, because you are a leader, you have to control the class. So don't get so touchy or aggressive. By this, you will disturb your own class. Leaving class unattended, the biggest, first leaving class unattended. I always tell my teachers during training workshop, never ever leave your class unattended. Some trainers, they say, it is only for Montessori pre-primary, it's fine. No, it is for seniors also. If you are teaching 9th and 10th, if you leave and two boys will fight, two boys will start fighting in your class. You are not in class, you left for some work. Then who is responsible? You are responsible. In young classes, I tell you when it happens, many years back, at that time media was not strong, only PTV was there. So I tell you one thing, once many years back, at that time there were no channels, only PTV was working there. At that time, PTV was there, only one channel. So what happened that in small classes, one boy, it was KG class, and one boy, teacher just went near the door and that boy, sharp pencil, he stuck inside the eye of another girl. They were 4.5 years old and teacher was in class, but just she went near the door and it happened. Serious injury occurred. At that time media was not there, you can understand what would have happened to that institution. So leaving class is very bad. It is dangerous, not only for children but for you, your job. So what is the biggest classroom? The biggest classroom is your play area, recess time, where your students play. So when administration will give you duty during break time in corridors or somewhere, so biggest classroom is your ground where you give duties. That is very important, because the senior students, they make plan during recess time, so you have to be with them. Be honest, because again I say answerable. You and we all teachers, we are answerable to Allah Almighty. So we have to be honest. Why I'm saying honest? And you have seen this word, silent lover. You know what silent lover is? The person who can't say that I love you, but still that person admires you. I'm talking about young children. Suppose you are teacher of class 2 or playgroup or KG, pre-primary level and down, even 5 and 6, in 5 and 6, 7 and 8, even there are students who can't express their feelings to you. But have you ever observed that when you are teaching, one of the student continuously watching you, wherever you are going, his or her eyes at you. So when you jump between the session from one institution to another just for a salary of 2,000-3,000, you get good option. This is a good option for a teacher, that if some other institution offers you a plus 5,000 salary and you jump without completing this session, you are not honest. And you know what you're doing? There is no problem for that institution. They can hire many teachers. In place of you, they can get maybe much better that teacher than you. If not, at least they will get a teacher and they will train you. You will get a good job. Who suffers? That child. The whole class suffers, but especially your silent lover, because that child can't ask where my teacher has gone. And if it happens with 2 or 3 children, you left, then after some time that teacher, that student will start admiring another teacher, and after some days again that teacher will leave. Then what will happen? That child will stop loving teachers, because that child will think, मैं तो जिससे प्यार करता हूँ वो छोड़ के चली जाती है. So that silent lover, you have broken his or her heart, and now you are not loyal, because just because of your dishonesty. So please, if administration is not good, even then try to complete the session, please. And then teaching style, shouting and beating desks. I've seen many teachers shouting aloud. You know why we shout in class? Just because of 2 reasons. According to my experiences, I've seen many teachers, and me myself, I did these things. Teachers shout in class for 2 reasons. One, if I will shout and if I will shout during my teaching, then what will happen? Actually, we are forcing students so that they will keep quiet. And second thing, that my voice will go out in corridor, my coordinators or nearby principal offices, my voice will go there and they will say, oh wow, Javed Aziz is teaching. What a teacher he is. Look at the sound of Javed Aziz. No, my dear, your management, your administration, they know what you are doing in class. So no need to shout. With shouting, you are damaging your throat. After coming years, 10, 15 years, there will be a problem in your throat. So please don't shout in class. This is not the way to control. And second thing, I have seen many teachers, they have dusters, and when class is not controlled, what they do? Keep quiet. This beating desks and board, and you are beating desks and table. You know why? There is only one reason. Because you are sending that voice out that please, I can't control this class, somebody come and help me. This is what you are doing. Because you can't control the class, therefore you are beating tables and you are shouting so that somebody else will come, a coordinator or an other class teacher. She will come and she will say, keep quiet, why you are disturbing teacher? This and that. You are disturbing your whole teaching life. you are proving that you are not a good teacher. So please be aware of these things. Table chair and be a good dancer. Now, table chair. I have seen many teachers, promise I'm telling you, 36 years I have never and ever did this thing. I'm the most energetic teacher even in this age of my life, even now. Whole day I can stand during my teaching time. I never sit in class. I don't know how teachers sit and teach. Okay, it's fine if your BP is low. It is in a month, once or twice. You're not feeling well, you're having fever. It's fine. But daily basis, you need a chair to take attendance or something. Table and chair. You know, in good institution, there is no chair in class for teacher. Only rostrum is there. Stand, give lecture, board, use board. Move. Why I said good dancer? You should move in between your students from one place to another. So that student must know that, yes, and you will get the correct picture. You just write over here and you will not move inside your class. How will you know that last benchers what they are doing? Either they are writing or not. Then when you are checking copies at that time, you know what my methodology is? That I move in corridors. Suppose if student is desk, I've written over here, and if the last bencher or front, even when I move, if he has written D-A-S-K, A-A-S-K, I say cut it down, write it again, erase it. Come on. I correct during my walk because I am a good dancer. So please you also dance in class. Don't try to ask for table and chair. Don't sit and teach. Rewards, punishment. Rewards and punishment should be on daily basis. But remember, reward should be on daily basis but not punishment, because if you punish a child daily, then he or she will become a culprit. इतना जिद्दी हो जाएगा वो बच्चा आपसे. That child will start hitting you if you will daily. Why? Because in your mind, suppose if name is Ali or Ahmad, the child who disturbs you, daily morning when you go, first you have decided in your mind that Ali will disturb me today. I said be a positive teacher. So in morning time when you are going to school, think that today Ali will not disturb me, he will be my best student in class today. Think positive for that child. Because when you entered, already you have decided that this child will disturb. So even his or her small thing, it will become bad. So please, rewards should be at the moment. I have given you example that tomorrow morning I will, in assembly I will clap for you. No, this is not the reward. At that moment, if child has done some good work, tell your students to clap for her. You take out a pencil from your bag and give it to her or whatever. But rewards should be at that moment. And if you have promised that after 2 days you are going to give certificate on that day, so fulfill it. I told you that you have to fulfill it. So reward and punishment. Punishment, remember that don't punish a child daily. Punishment is important. But punishment should be no physical punishment. Now, teachers ask me, sir, if physical punishment is not there, then how we are going to punish them? Remember, in class, make that child stand in the corner, inside your class, not outside. Inside your corner, and at that moment, stop your studies for a second and play some game with them. And tell them that you are not allowed. Just do this for 2 or 3 days and just you will see that what that child will come back in your class. This is what punishment is. Let him write something, write some excuse note for you. Tell him you have to do your homework twice now. These are punishments. Physical punishment, totally not allowed. Don't touch student for punishment. Then love is the best child, because what I have told you how to punish, this is what love. Create a love. You know emotions, what you do, even we are adults now, but even now, you are girls, you teachers, majority of you are girls. So suppose your friend, your colleague will say, today is my Mangni ceremony, you have to come to my house. And you know, your family is very strict. You are not allowed after Maghrib to go out. Now what you do? You go home and you will say, Mama, आज मेरी friend की मंगनी है ना, तो मुझे जाना है, वो मेरी colleague है और fly नाराज हो जाएगी पूरा group. They will start hitting me, Mama, please. And she said, you know your father? Once we have decided after Maghrib you are not allowed, so how can I allow you after 8 o'clock? And then what you will say? Okay, मेरी कोई बात नहीं मानते, and that's and that. And you will go to your room and lock your door and you will sit inside. Mama will come for lunch and they will say, please come out, take lunch. Nahi, I don't want any lunch. Because you are showing your emotions now. And mother will say, okay, be in your room. Then after some time mother will come again because mother is mother. So what you will do, with love, with emotion, with your tears, at last what will happen? Mother will say, okay, भाई के साथ चली जाना और भाई 1 घंटे बाद आएगा वापस आना. What happened with your love, with your emotions? You have control your mother. So why not during teaching hours, create your love first in students and then do the same thing with your students. If they start loving you, then they will die for you. I'm telling you. So please, love style is teaching with love is the best style, and then you can use your emotions with students. Bad words and good words. Please remember, never use bad word for your students. Either it is remarks or whatever. I have seen many teachers, when you use bad word in front of others, just think for yourself. If your father, you are standing outside at off time, your father has come to pick you up in car, and you are little late, meeting was there or something, and you came out and your father will start shouting in front of whole children and teachers because off time is there, and your father is standing near the car and start shouting at you. What will you feel? Insult? Then why don't you think that when you shout at student in front of other students, the same situation is there. That child is feeling an insult. So always use good words. Now I'm not saying start doing tons or start taunting on that child. That taunting is also a bad thing. In good words. Beta, don't you love your parents? Don't you love your teachers? Your parents, and we do so much hard working for you. Beta, you don't think that we deserve some respect? Why you are doing this thing? Why? In good words, I have told that child whole story. So please, and what parents don't, you should. The last point that I love to teach is, nowadays parents, they don't have time. They don't have time. Whole day father is busy in earning money. At night when father comes home, he has no time for kids. And mothers, some are working women. Those who are at home, they are busy with the household work. And I must tell you one thing, especially the books and the syllabus, only a teacher can teach that. That is difficult. And for moral values, so note this point, what parents don't do. What parents don't do? They don't help their child in homework, plus there are no moral values that parent is teaching. Parents, they are in a big problem nowadays. You know what? The life of the child has become miserable. After school, Kari is there, then tuition is there, then academy is there. There is no time left for that student. How mothers and father will make them sit after dinner and tell them ahadith and story and Muslim era and history of Islam? They can't. So this is your duty now to tell your students that from which religion you believe. So all these things that parents are not doing because of problems, you should do. This is what the style of a real teacher is. Only teaching syllabus is not teaching. You have to build the whole personality of the child. I have given you these points. Why? Because you are a professional teacher, you are a dedicator. So student imitate you, you are a role model for the student, so your personality should be. At the end I will tell you one thing, please don't mind this thing. one of a male teacher, he got a long hair. So once I have seen this thing, and the student of 10th class. So in morning time, he got that scissor. The male teacher got long hair. He got the scissor and he was cutting hair of that 10th class student. School में बाल काट के आना चाहिए, बड़े बाल नहीं रख सकते. And you know what he said? He said, "Sir, आपके बाल भी तो बड़े हैं." And I have seen once a girl of 10th class, and one teacher, she said, gave nail cutter to that girl and said, "अपने नाखून काटो." इतने बड़े nails रखे मैं. And that girl said, "Ma'am, आपके भी तो बड़े nails हैं." And what was the answer of that male teacher and girl, female teacher? Male teacher said, "जब मेरी एज के हो जाओगे ना तो बाल बड़े कर लेना." And that female teacher said same words, "जब मेरी जितनी हो जाओगी तो nails बड़े कर लेना." So I asked, at the end, I asked both teachers. I said, "Tell me one thing. In this 10th class, this thing is haram for them, but when they will grow up till your age, then that thing will become halal for them. What is this? This is what bad teaching is. This is what bad teaching is." So remember, you are a role model. If you have long hair, males, and coordinator will give you duty to go and cut the hair, tell them, "Ma'am, sorry, I myself have got long hairs. How can I tell them not to cut?" And if you have got long nails, my dear daughters, so don't tell 9th and 10th class students that cut your nails. If coordinator or ma'am will say, so okay, say, "Ma'am, please, I have nails. So please don't tell me that what I am not doing, how can I tell my student, because I am a teacher." So please remember these things. I again promise you, if you have listened and watched these videos, teacher training workshop completely and thoroughly, listen again and again. I promise you again that one day you will be one of excellent teacher. These are the points that I have studied from at beginners from Mr. and Mrs. White. Then I have learned many things from leaders of AC School Quetta, my CEO, the most honorable Zahid Ahmad Khair, and my most respected principal Hinay Bal, and above all from Karachi, Ma'am Islam, then Oxford University Press, my colleague. I have learned phonetics from Rubina. She was directress, much younger than me. She is directress at Oxford University Press Training Department. So I have all these points. These points are blessing from all my teachers. The first day, you know, who taught you to hold the pencil? Who is the one who started my teaching career was principal of Beacon House Quetta. She was headmistress at that time, Mrs. Bashir. So she is my first teacher, and she trained me how to become a teacher. So please subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, and please again, if you have not thoroughly watched, please watch these videos thoroughly. Thank you very much. Allah bless you all. Best of luck. Thank you.